I'm Kev.
And I'm Steve.
And we're from the internet.
Want an extra episode of We're From The Internet every week? Head over to we'refromtheinternet.com/bonus to get an exclusive weekly bonus episode 100% free.
What is your favourite band?
The Elastic Band.
Waistband.
Oh, I like it. Headband's quite good.
Marching band.
Oh, you're going to have me here because I don't think there's a fifth one. No.
I've got one. Bandwagon.
Ooh. Yeah, you're a veritable band expert, aren't you? Band-Aid?
Bandage.
No, I'm not having that. We're not using parts of words, or we could have bandstand then. I'm not.
Well, you can, surely.
Okay, I'll have it. Bandstand.
Damn it. I'll think while we
bandana.
talk.
That must put me in the lead now. And my favourite is the bandana, because that one day last year where I wore a bandana, I looked very fetching. But it got confiscated. I've not been allowed to wear it since.
I wore a bandana once. Someone said it suited me.
Did you look like Hulk Hogan?
Probably.
Just without the moustache, obviously.
Yeah.
Because there are certain elements of you that are remarkably like Hulk Hogan.
Biceps mainly, isn't it?
Yeah. That's where I was going with that. Do they mean musical bands, do we think? Because this episode can only lead to us both sounding like massive wangs.
I don't know.
Because we both have really pretentious music tastes.
I don't think we really do. You have quite poppy and I have quite old and crap.
Yeah, but they're pretentious. We have the pretentious end of the bits that we like. Like, I've got my upstairs, at the top of my stairs, I have my framed Block Party vinyl that I ordered as a limited edition thing, just because Block Party are my favourite band in the whole wide world. And that makes me a wang, because no one's favourite band in the world is Block Party, because they were sort of a footnote on a footnote of the history of UK, I don't know, what would you call it? Punk pop, maybe? I don't know.
I remember going to Reading Festival and my friend telling me that he wanted to check out this new band, apparently really good, and we stood there watching Block Party, and after a couple of songs he was like, and walked off, and I thought they were alright, I had nothing against them, but we left because I was only there because he'd taken me to that stage, because he wanted to check them out.
Whereas I've seen them live on every tour they've had, because I'm a loser.
See, the only band I've seen live a bajillion times is Coheed and Cambria, who are...
So, pretentious again.
They're not really, though. They're just lame. I love them, but people... Whenever I said I really like them, people have just gone... Right. Whereas I've seen... I remember they did a week-long... they did a gig a day for a week. They had 5 albums, so they did Monday to Friday. They played an album a day. And
long albums.
But the second day, when I was supposed to play the second album, they had a power cut. So they gave everyone, they were going to add it on at the end, but I couldn't make the end, so I missed my favourite album of the 5 at the time.
So you went to all 5 of them, you loser?
Yeah, I actually met a guy on the first day in the queue, called something like Dan, and hang out with him on my own, because I went on my own, my wife couldn't make it.
Wow.
So I went on my own.
Were these gigs all in the same place? Or were they moving?
So each day I'd go home and then come back.
And how far from your house was this?
About an hour and a half, 2 hour journey on the train. It was in London.
You are such a loser.
And I'd meet up with him in the crowd and we'd just stand there and watch it. Didn't really talk. And then just went back. I hadn't even said to my phone something like Dan Coheed for ages, because I didn't get his surname. He must have said it at the time. He texted me once to say, could I check out his new band that he was in? And I was just like, delete. No. But yeah, I went to 4 out of 5 and it was awesome. And I remember taking my wife to see him 2 or 3 times. And before I'd met her, I'd seen him a few times as well. I must have seen him about 8, 9, 10, 12 times. Ridiculous, really. I always think if I'm ever a millionaire, if I'm ever rich enough...
You'll find Dan Coheed and listen to his new band.
If I'm ever rich enough, I want to do like a festival for myself where I will just have like a day-long thing where I'll just have all the bands I like. So I'd have Coheed, I'd have AFI, I'd have Go Betty Go, I mentioned a few podcasts ago, because I just think they're brilliant. I watch them on the internet because they do like live shows online. They're quite smaller, but they're really good. The Offspring, because I listened to them at college, And
I'm shaking my head.
I loved them at college.
Despair.
Me and my mates used to listen to them. They were on Crazy Taxi.
Was that when you were cruising around on your skateboard?
I didn't skate. We established that.
You must have done. You listened to the Offspring.
No, they're great. I listened to them this morning. I listened to them on the way to and from work now and again because they have some superb songs. I was reading about how they released a song called "Fix You" just as fucking Coldplay released a song called "Fix You." So they compared them.
I was in the video for the Coldplay song called "Fix You."
Well, that song's awful.
It was recorded at Bolton's Reebok Stadium, and they had to play the song twice, and they filmed the crowd, and you can just see me in the crowd waving.
I can't stand Coldplay.
I like Coldplay. I've seen them live once, I think. I was supposed to see them live for the second time, the day before our first day at uni in 2009. But it was at Wembley, and I decided not to go because I was starting uni the next day. If only I'd have known how easy uni was, but I thought I've got to take this seriously.
I know what you mean. I just see them as like mum music.
Yeah.
Coldplay and Keane.
I'm a mum.
I just don't like them.
Elbow I've accidentally seen a couple of times. Elbow always seem to be supporting bands who I go and see. I've seen Muse 3 or 4 times.
I've seen Muse.
Elbow have supported Muse a couple of times. I supported Coldplay when I went to see them. So I sort of keep accidentally seeing Elbow. I think they were at the festival when I was there as well.
I'd probably invite Muse along to my all-day gig.
Muse are an excellent live act.
Because they are very good. When I saw them, the Zootons were supporting them. I'd probably invite them along to play early on the day or something like that.
Again at a festival, maybe.
They invented Valerie, didn't they? And then Amy Winehouse stole it.
I saw Electric Six perform Radio Gaga at Radio 1's big weekend in Leicester it must be 10, 15 years ago now.
See, I'd probably
Electric
try and get
Six
Queen to come along, because
fantastic.
Queen are, again, they're everyone's top something.
But not with the American guy who did the New Year's Eve thing this year.
It was alright. He was okay. I think it's hard.
He was a bit too talkative. He just needed to shut up and sing the songs.
Metallica, I know you don't like that kind of
hair metal.
But they're not. They haven't got hair, really.
They've got hair. They've got moustaches.
They're giants. They're like proper Viking people, like Scandinavians. They're enormous.
They're too rough and guitar-y.
They sing some great songs.
I prefer most of the I like my noise to come from the drums, not the guitars. I like a good, fast drum beat. But I want guitars
Offspring had
over
really
the
good
top
drum.
of it.
That's why I really like them.
That's the
drummy.
big thing that I loved about Block Party before the drummer left and kind of spoilt it a little bit. It was the fact that it was always a really fast, awesome drum beat.
And WFTI, actually, they always have a really good drum beat. An excellent drum beat.
Perhaps we should become drummers.
I had a drum kit.
Should we both become drummers and start a band where there's just 2 drummers and we both sing? And there's no other...
the Drummer Boys or something.
No, we could be. But that's all it is. We get so good at the drums that we can make a wall of sound with drums. Like how the White Stripes used to just be a drum kit and Jack White playing the guitar and singing. And it sounded like a full band.
I used to see them as so lazy, and then I realised they're actually quite minimalistic.
He was a genius.
Clever, yeah.
I loved
them. For years I thought they were just lazy bumheads who just needed to put some effort into their songs, and then realised actually, no, they're doing quite a good job. Led Zeppelin, my wife introduced me to them. Not physically.
I was going to say, did you get their autograph while you were there?
No, I hadn't listened to them because I just didn't know what they were really, and then she introduced me to their songs, and they're another one that goes on the way to work listeners.
You need to listen to educational podcasts. Or might I recommend this one for the way to work? That's what I do
listen to it on the way to work now and again. Do you know, for a while, what, Spotify killed a lot of the bands I loved because you can't get Rammstein on Spotify. So I haven't listened to them in like a decade.
Oh no, what are you going to do?
But they had some really nice songs.
Have we finished sounding like pretentious wangs? You promised me we wouldn't sound like pretentious wangs.
We have.
We've spent 10 minutes listing wangy band after wangy band.
We haven't. Wangy bands would be naming... I'm trying to think. My mate was really into someone, I think it's like 30 Seconds to Mars, something like that. Is that what they're called? And
I would say they're a bit cooler than most of what we've
They're cooler?
Just
oh, yeah,
about.
We're lame. I'm not saying we're, we're not naming wangy bands, we're naming lame bands. Or quite generic.
I'm misunderstanding. I don't know the difference between lame and wang, clearly.
Well, wangy would just be if you think no one... You think you like it because they're cool, or no?
Oh no, I'm very aware of the fact that no one likes
all of mine
is
lame. I'm into lame music, awful music.
Then. We are lame.
Want to get every episode of We're From the Internet at least a day earlier than the iTunes and Stitcher folk? Head over to weirdfromtheinternet.com/pledge to support us on Patreon, and as well as early access, we'll throw in an exclusive weekly show just for our patrons too.